Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ray Guitar channel, and today, guys, we are talking again about the Russell Brand situation, because there was a little bit of an update that I just wanted to talk about with this whole thing. You know, all of the allegations are still there. He still hasn't, disproved any of the allegations or anything, but recently, YouTube decided to demonetize his entire, YouTube channel. So here's his initial statement on the whole situation.
Hello there, you Awakening Wonders. Obviously, it's been an extraordinary and distressing week, and I thank you very much for your support and for questioning the information that you've been presented with. By now you're probably aware that the British government have asked big tech platforms to censor our online content, and that some online platforms have complied with that request. What you may not know is that this happens in the context of the Online Safety Bill, which is a piece of UK legislation that grants sweeping surveillance and censorship powers, and it's a law that has already been passed. I also don't imagine you've heard of the Trusted News Initiative. Now, as is often the case when a word like trusted is used as part of an acronym to describe an unelected body, trust is the last thing you should be offering. The Trusted News Initiative is a collaboration between big tech and legacy media organisations to target, control, choke and shut down independent media organisations, like this one. We'll be talking about that on our show on Monday on Rumble. But just to give you an idea of what the TNI is, this is a quote from one of their spokespeople. Because the actual real rivalry now is not between the BBC and CNN globally, it's actually between all trusted news providers and digital platforms. It's clear that these organisations collaborate in constructing narratives, whether that's around the war or the pandemic, and of course there are other examples. And it's very clear to me that we have to be very, very cautious indeed. That's why I'm asking you to follow me on Rumble. Rumble have made a clear commitment to free speech, and Rumble is the primary platform that we will be streaming from. We'll be back this Monday, and as usual, we'll be talking about deep state and corporate collusion, and how ordinary democracy is anathema now, how it's shut down, ignored and avoided. We'll be talking about a military-industrial complex that is able to facilitate and start wars that seem sometimes to be little more than money laundering operations. And that's with all respect to the hundreds of thousands of victims of the numerous ongoing wars in the world at the moment. We'll be talking about the role of Big Pharma and how Big Pharma have been able to influence government policy around the world and how they've been able to evade due liability and necessary scrutiny, how they've been able to avoid media investigation that perhaps ought be due them.
And there you go, that's pretty much his entire statement on the whole, being censored, getting demonetized on his YouTube channel. And honestly, it's kind of fucking ridiculous that the guy hasn't even been fully charged yet. Yes, currently it is just accusations, but they're already taking away his way of making money. I understand that it's because YouTube doesn't want to get bitched out by all of these media companies that, oh, well, you're supporting some guy who has these allegations, because that's going to be headlines that they're running. But then again, with how many stories there are, and with the evidence that they've showed so far of him literally admitting to raping one of the girls and saying sorry for it, I mean, obviously that's admission to guilt, and it was a private admission to guilt, which I would say makes it a little bit more credible. The main point really is I'm just angry that I have to defend the guy now, because I'm sorry, but YouTube should not be taking people's fucking monetization away just because they had some allegations, even though the allegations seem pretty legit, and the guy was a fucking sexual degenerate for years. That was literally his whole shtick, was fucking all the girls. So whenever you hear yes so many times, whenever you hear no, you don't take it so nicely.
Hello.
You alright, sweetheart?
Yeah.
What seems to be the trouble?
Well, I'm going to have a 16th party, well, hopefully.
16th party? You've had 15 up till now. Do you have one every year?
No, I only had one last year.
Right, but you are 16 years of age.
Going to be in February, but I want ideas.
I suppose you're 16, you can't really drink booze yet, or or any drugs because that's illegal. 16, right now you will be legally allowed to have sexual partners. Now I think you should theme the party around legal sex. Why don't you have it themed around vampires? Because I suppose what you really want to do is heighten the mood of, like, you're 16, you're still essentially a child, but you're coming of age. I think you want to heighten the mood of danger. So dress as say it's a vampire themed party. Why not? February.
No, a masked ball.
Masked ball, like
That's
in
good.
oh, hold on, a Venetian masked ball. That's a good idea, Matt. In its way, erotic, but in a suppressed, suitable way for a 16-year-old girl.
I feel like it's crazy that people don't actually think he did it, you know. It's fucking Russell Brand. That was his whole thing. And also, I got a comment on my last video about this whole situation, and they literally said, you know, it's not actually illegal to have sex with a 16-year-old in the United Kingdom. Yeah, but he was 31 fucking years old. She was 16. That's fucking pedophilia, bud. I don't care if it's legal. The fucking argument isn't about if it's legal. Like, the fucking argument is literally, hey, why are you fucking a 16-year-old, bud? There's something kind of messed up about that. I don't understand. I do not understand how literally there are a bunch of these like retard roidoids screaming about the sound of freedom and how like the Hollywood was silencing the sound of freedom and trying to hide this like whole child grooming fucking movie away from the public. And then this dude, you know, he gets some accusations, but, you know, he speaks up against Big Pharma. He makes videos that I like. He has a good opinion, so, yeah, we'll let him get away with fucking a 16-year-old. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's kind of crazy. Never gonna support him on that one. He's allegedly a really fucked up individual, I guess you can say. At the end of the day, that is my final statement. Allegedly, he is really gross and disgusting, and he probably, most definitely, probably did it, I would say. And also the thing is that if he did get, like, fully charged and everything was, like, proven true in a court of law, then I still don't really think YouTube should, like, demonetize a channel just because they're a felon or something. I mean, how many of those, like, prisoner fucking YouTube channels are there where they, like, tell stories from prison and from jail? Or, like, they show you how to make, like, jail food. Are you gonna take down every single one of those felons now, YouTube, because they broke the law? I don't know. YouTube should not be in the business of that. It should not affect it in any way, shape, or form. I understand why, because, like, it'll make advertisers dip out and that kind of stuff, especially because it's such a big story. On the other hand, he's a degenerate weirdo fucking creep, and I hate his guts, so take that as you will. Ladies and gentlemen, like, comment, and subscribe for more videos whenever I make them. Gay retard out.